Hey guys, welcome to your 9th HTML and CSS crash course. Now in today's tutorial we're going to be talking about Css Transform Properties. So first thing we're going to do is to create a div, and in this div we're going to assign a class to it, and we're going to name this class div1. So save this and go to your CSS. I've already linked my CSS, so make sure you link your CSS also. Go to your CSS and grab the div1. So div1, and over here we're going to set a background color. Going to set a background color of aqua, and we're going to add a border to this of 1 pixel solid black. Also, we're going to give this a width of, let's say, 200 pixels and a height also of 200 pixels. Next thing we're going to do is to give this margin of 10 pixels, and we're finally going to use the transform property. So we're going to translate this, and this takes in two values. So 50 pixels for the x-axis and 150 pixels for the y-axis. So save this and go to your HTML file and open with live server. Okay, so you can see the div1 element, which is this square over here. Now let's create a new div. So go over here and create a new div. Now I'm going to show you a shortcut to creating a div with a class. So you say div dot, the name of this class is going to be div2, and click enter. So you can see it's created the div tag and also gave this a class of div2. So save this and go to your CSS and copy the styles for div1, paste it over here and make this div2. We're just going to change this color. And then you must be wondering how I did it. I just hovered on the color box over here. Then when you use VS Code, you get options of selecting different colors. So this is the RGB color for yellow. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to do is to use another function in the transform property, which is scale. And I'm going to make this twice the size, so 2. So save this and go to your browser. You should see this big square, which is going outside the web page, also covering the div1. Okay, it's covering the div1. So how do we fix that? Let's give this a margin of 200 pixels. Go back to your browser. You can see it's moved the second div element and also this div1, so the div1 is visible. So let's change this to 3. See how it is. You can see now it's 3 times the size. Okay, so it's more of a rectangle now than a square. It's more of a rectangle now. So if you add a text to it, let's add a text inside div1. Let's say so save. You should see that the text has been stretched. So if you reduce this size to 1, you see the text has been kind of shrinked. Okay, so let's just make this 2. Okay, so go back to your CSS and go to your HTML. I'm going to create a new div, and I'm going to make this div have a class of div3, and we're just going to grab this text and paste it over here. Okay, so save, go to your CSS, copy this class, and the name of the class is div3. Okay, name of the class is div3. Save, and we're just going to change this color again. So hover on the background color, the box color over here, and we're going to use, let's say, purple. Okay, and the next thing we're going to talk about is the rotate function. So rotate, and we're just going to rotate this by 30 degrees. So think of this transform property as a scientific graph or something. Yes, a scientific graph works perfectly. So you have the y-axis and the x-axis on your graph. So this is occupying the x-axis, and this is occupying the y-axis. So in your mathematics or science, when you have a graph, you have the x-axis, y-axis. So the same technique applies over here. So think of this as this being your x-axis and the value over here being your y-axis. So this corresponds to this, and this corresponds to this. Okay, so save, and let's check our browser. Scroll down, you should see this next div3. You can see it has been rotated. So you can see it has been rotated on the axis. Okay, so think of this as a mathematical equation saying you should find the direction or the angle in which a given question or your x and y axis has been transformed. Okay, so we can also shift this position. You can make it 45 degrees. Okay, you can see it's bending, so you can use this for animations or transitions. So you can make this initially 0 degree. Let's try something. Then when you create div3 and you add a transform property of rotate 360 degree, and you make this hover effect. So this property only occurs when you hover on div3. Okay, so if you want to make this function work properly, you are going to add a transition to make it smooth, and let's say this transition should occur for 2 seconds. Okay, 2 seconds to rotate from 0 to 360 degrees. Now this transition is not part of this tutorial, but I just want to show you where you can apply this transform property of rotate. So save this and check your browser. Okay, you can see. Okay, you can see how it's rotating. Now imagine if this were a circle. So give this a border radius of 50%. So imagine if it were a circle. Wait. Okay, imagine if it were a circle. Now this can be used as a really nice load effect. Okay, so obviously we're not going to use this as a circle, and you can comment this out if you want to. I'm just going to leave it over here. So the next thing we're going to do is to create a new div, and we're going to give this a class of div4. Okay, saying this is a text, and we're going to copy this. Let's copy this and paste it over here. Okay, so div 4, and we're going to change this color to green. Okay, now the next property we're going to talk about is rotate X. So it's rotating on the X axis. Okay, rotating on the X axis of your graph. So envision a graph over here and think of something rotating on the X axis of the graph. Okay, so go back, make sure you save it. Okay, so you can see the text is upside down. Let me just rotate this. Let this be on 0. Okay, you can see the text. Let's increase the font size and change the color to white. Add color, and this is going to be white. Okay, and we're going to change this to 0 degree and increase the font size, and this is going to have a font size of 18 pixels, just for you to see it being bold. Okay, so this is the text. Now this is it at 0 degree. It's not being rotated at all. So let's change this to 45 degree and check your browser. You can see it's rotating directly on the X axis. Okay, you can see the vertical lines here and the horizontal lines that can't be found because it's bending, rotating. I don't really know how to. Okay, it's rotating like slantly on the graph. Okay, that's the best way I can put it, like rotating slantly on the graph. So you can see the end value of point A and point B of the horizontal line. You can only see point A and point B of the vertical line. Okay, so let's make this 90 degree. So now you can see it at all because it's laying flat, like flat horizontally, so you won't be able to see it at all. It's just like you having a piece of paper and the paper is flat on the surface. You won't be able to see the width and the height of the paper. Basically, the whole body structure of the paper won't be visible because it's slant. Okay, so let's make this 180 degree rather. So you can see it has been bent upside down. Okay, let's create a new div. And I'm going to give this a class of div 5. Yes. Okay. So you paste the class again, div 5. So the next one I'm going to talk about is rotate Y. Okay, so I'm just going to change the color of this to blue. Okay, now get rid of this. So this is going to be rotate Y on the Y axis. Okay, now let's give this a value of 45 degree. Add color to this. The font color should be white, and the font size should be 20 pixels. Okay, go back to your browser, scroll down, and you can see it being rotated. Okay, so these, just like in this rotate X, so you can see the horizontal lines over here, point A, point B. You can see the vertical lines here. Okay, so let's change this from 45 to 90 degrees. 90 degrees. So save, go to your browser. Of course, you won't be able to see it again. So let's change this to 180 degrees. Go to your browser. Now you can see it's upside down also. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it at 180 degrees. So go to your HTML again, and this is going to be, okay, no, it's not the last element we're talking about, not the last feature we're talking about rather. So go to your HTML file, create a new div and give this a class of div6. Of course, add your text. And copy and paste and change the name of the class to div6. Change the color, let's use red, and change the font color to white and the font size to 20 pixels. Now we're going to talk about rotate Z. Now I'm going to give you a test, a short test real quick. So in the comment section, I want you to tell me the difference between the rotate Z and rotate. Okay, so I'm just going to give this a value of 45 degrees. So scroll down, you can see it's rotating just like we have here. So I want you to tell me the difference between this and this. Okay, so you have five seconds to answer. 5. Okay, let me give you 10 seconds. So I have 10 seconds to comment down below, comment down the answer. Okay, okay, let me tell you the answer. The answer is there is no difference between the rotate, this rotate, and rotate Z. Rotate is the default. Rotate Z is the same thing as rotate. It's just that the Z is assuming the function of rotate, and rotate is the default name. Okay, but it has the same function and the same function of rotate Z. Okay, now the next thing we're going to talk about, which is the last one, is skill transform property. So create a new div, paste the class and change this to div7, and we're going to change this to skill. Okay, and this also takes the value of degree. So this is going to transform the property to a 3D shape. Okay, so we're just going to change this color to, let's say, orange. Okay, so save, go to your browser. You should see it's transformed this div to like a slant 3D shape. Okay, so the same rule applies to skill Y and skill X transition property. So you can try that yourself by using the skill Y and skill X property. Just give it a trial and you use it to practice what you've learned. So if you did make it to the end of this video, make sure you comment 2%, because 2% of you guys actually wait till the end of the tutorial. So if you did wait to the end of this tutorial, if you watched it to the end, make sure you comment 2%, and if you downloaded this video, make sure you watch it to the end and comment 2% on the tutorial on the channel. Okay, so thank you for watching. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you smash the like button, share this video, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Thanks for watching.